Have you ever stopped to wonder, what story are your holidays really telling your kids? Is it a story about stuff, presents, parties, more stuff? Or is it a story about someone else? The God who has been faithful through every season. Most families drift into culture-driven celebrations without even realizing that you are teaching something. But you don't have to. You can turn every birthday, every holiday, every milestone into a moment that is rooted in the gospel for your kids. Today, I want to show you how. Why holidays matter to God. Long before your kids ever ripped open those wrapping paper gifts, God designed celebrations with a purpose. In Leviticus 23, he laid out a calendar of feasts, of festivals for Israel, not just as empty rituals, but as living reminders of his mighty work. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 6 through 9 says this, "These words I've commanded you today shall be on your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children." Celebration is meant to be discipleship. It's God's way of weaving his story into the rhythm of life. When you anchor your traditions in him, you show your children that every season points to his faithfulness. Birthdays can be celebrated, your identity in Christ, or another year that God has been faithful. Think about birthdays for a moment. In our culture, they're mostly about cake, gifts, and parties. These are all fine. But what if you made birthdays a yearly chance to speak truth into your child's life? Imagine a birthday blessing of a tradition. Each year you gather the family, you lay your hands on your child's shoulders, and you look them in the eye and you say something meaningful like, "Lord, thank you for the gift of Olivia. May she grow in wisdom, in love, in courage, and follow you all of her days." Then highlight one or two ways where you've seen God grow their character this year. Maybe she's been more kind, more persevering, more compassionate. Maybe read a verse that affirms these works in her life, like what it says in Ephesians 2:10, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works." When you do all of this, you plant seeds about her identity in Christ that will last longer than a birthday gift. This is why we at Shepherd Thoughts have a whole playlist dedicated to help you. It's called Start Here, Disciple Your Kids Under 12. Feel free to subscribe, binge watch. We want to help you find great ways and be reminded of great ways to disciple your kids, to help you be obedient to God's great commission for us. Let's think about Christmas or Easter, maybe centering that around the gospel. And honestly, Christmas and Easter are the easiest places to get lost in consumerism. But they're one of the biggest opportunities to recenter your family around Christ. And you can start small during Advent, lighting a candle each Sunday, reading about the story from Luke chapter 2, praying together. Or Easter week, walk through the story of Jesus' sacrifice and resurrection. Use resurrection eggs or a simple picture book to get this message across. Maybe you can set up nativity scenes and talk your kids through each piece and what they mean and that person's part in the story. These are all moments that you don't have to be elaborate or be perfect or have a whole message, 30 minutes with 3 points in a poem, but just consistently giving simple readings before bedtime can actually shape their life and help them realize faith is not just something ambiguous, but something you get to live right now. Another holiday is Thanksgiving. It's an opportunity to practice gratitude. Thanksgiving often revolves around food and football, but it is much more than that. Before the meal, maybe go around and talk or share how you've seen God provide this year. Maybe start a family blessings journal where each Thanksgiving you write down prayers or unexpected gifts. And over time, you can go back and refer to this book and help your child look back at God's faithfulness. You can write thank you cards as a family, notes to people who've been part of God's provision in your life this year. One of the years that we had a lot going on, we had several doctors that helped us with our daughter, and we spent Thanksgiving writing thank you notes to them because we wanted them to know that we were grateful for their impact in our family's life that year. And this isn't just about being grateful or having gratitude. It's about training your child to see God's hand in every circumstance. Making spiritual milestones of holidays is important, and some of the most important celebrations are not printed on the calendar, but are big deals. Like, for instance, if your child has had an opportunity to be baptized, that day, maybe memorize a verse or remember the importance of that moment in their life. Another opportunity is the day they chose to follow Christ, get saved. These are milestones that you can celebrate, we can enjoy. We have a lady in our church that reminds me every time the holiday shows up that she made a decision to follow Christ. And it is getting into the 40s and 50 years. And she celebrates it every year. It's a big deal. These moments deserve to be honored with the same excitement as a sports trophy or a school award. Maybe throw a small party, invite family and friends, have a cake, celebrate. Giving a special gift, maybe a personalized Bible or a framed verse, something simple, but that commemorates these important days, especially when you have mentors or grandparents. They can speak words of encouragement into this, and they can help make this day a big deal. When we mark spiritual milestones, we are communicating that following Jesus is worth celebrating. But not only that, we have to actually build a gospel-shaped family calendar. Traditions don't just happen by accident. And with the busyness of our world, oftentimes we only celebrate the ones on the calendar. But they grow from intentional planning, and we need to celebrate regularly the milestones that matter spiritually to disciple our kids. Maybe you and your wife or with grandparents or your family, you need to sit down for maybe an hour one evening and look at the next year ahead and ask yourself some questions. How can we anchor birthdays in God's truth? Or how can we, during Christmas and Easter, focus on the gospel? How can we celebrate milestones of spiritual growth? You don't need to overhaul everything in one night, but just start one or two new traditions. Try it. See how God can use these in your family's life. And over time, these moments will kind of shape your children to see that faith, family, and the goodness of God is part of your family's ritual, tradition, life. I know that your calendar is probably already full of birthdays, holidays, and milestones. But what if you made this next year your redeemed year, where you redeem them all, where you choose to make every one of these celebrations an opportunity to point people to Christ, and you give your kids something better than just a memory or a cake or a toy, but you give them a framework where they can see God in every season. This is what discipleship is all about. This is why we exist, and I want to help you personally grow in your ability to make disciples. We've created several things on our channel. One of them is the 7M Discipleship Blueprint, and we'd love for you to watch it so that we can help you be more obedient to God's command as we strive to make disciples in this world. I would love to hear from you. What is maybe one of your family traditions that you use? Put it in the comments below how you celebrated the gospel. We would love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, and I'm curious, what's your take and how you're going to do this? We are here to encourage you. We are here to help you be more obedient to Christ, and know that we love you and we're praying for you.